Today we're getting into a case that is just, well, incredibly frustrating, especially for investigators. It's the murder of Missy Bevers. You have a crime caught on camera, a victim who seems clearly targeted. And yet, years down the line, the killer's identity is still a complete blank.
It really is baffling. It all started very early in the morning, April 18th, 2016. This was in Midlothian, Texas.
Right.
Missy Bevers, she was a 45-year-old fitness instructor, arrived at the Creekside Church of Christ. It was just after 4:20 a.m., getting ready for her early Camp Gladiator class.
And the really chilling part about the timeline, as the sources show us, is that Missy had no idea someone was already inside the church waiting, just minutes before she pulled up.
Yeah, exactly. And this wasn't just, a random break-in. The surveillance footage showed this figure dressed head to toe in dark, almost like tactical gear.
Tactical gear.
Well, police later figured out it was actually fake SWAT equipment, but still, this person was inside, moving around like they had a purpose, carrying tools, not like a simple burglary at all.
And that confrontation, tragically, ended with Missy Bevers' death. She was a mother of 3. Everyone described her as really friendly, selfless.
Very loved in her community, yeah. Her fitness clients loved her. She'd actually worked in special education for years before finding this passion for fitness.
Her routine was, sadly, very predictable. Woke up at 3:30 a.m.
Like clockwork.
Was at the church, setting up by 4:20. She'd even posted online that morning, if it's raining, we're still training. Just part of her dedication.
And then when her class members arrived at 5 a.m., they found her. She was unresponsive. Tragically, she'd been stabbed multiple times, chest and head.
Awful.
Yeah. And the scene showed signs she really fought back hard.
So the first big piece of evidence, obviously, was that surveillance footage.
Right, the most compelling piece.
But the disguise, this full gear, meant police couldn't easily tell, the attacker's gender or age. But the sources really highlight 2 key things they could see about this person.
Yeah, 2 critical observations. First, the way they moved. Police specifically called it a distinctive gait, a very noticeable walk.
Okay, a distinctive walk. What was the second thing?
Second, just watching them move through the church. It strongly suggested they knew the layout. They seemed familiar with the place.
Familiar.
And they were clearly conducting a search, moving through halls, looking into rooms like they were looking for someone specific.
So that initial idea, maybe a burglary gone wrong, that got thrown up pretty fast.
Oh, immediately. I mean, who breaks into a church before dawn wearing fake SWAT gear and carrying tools just for a robbery? It didn't add up.
It screams targeted attack, like an assassination.
Exactly. Police shifted straight to that theory, and that was reinforced by another bit of footage. A car seen outside the church around that time.
The car clue.
Yeah, and even more telling. Police found footage of what looked like the same type of car just hours earlier outside a nearby sporting goods store.
Like they were casing the area.
Precisely. Screams premeditation. But the driver, never identified.
Isn't that a bit strange, though? If someone's meticulous enough to wear full gear, plan the entry. Why be so careless with the car, letting it get caught on camera multiple times?
That's a really good point. It suggests this weird conflict, doesn't it? Either they were highly skilled but made one huge slip up with the car, or maybe they were more amateur, just using the gear as a disguise. Maybe to hide their gender or their actual size, throw police off track. Either way, it told police they really needed to look inward. Assume the killer was someone who knew Missy, knew her schedule, knew she'd be there.
Which meant digging into her personal life. And apparently it wasn't quite as picture perfect as it seemed publicly. They found out Missy and her husband Brandon were having some serious money problems.
Right, financial difficulties. And also, significantly, the sources confirmed they discussed issues around extramarital affairs in the past.
Okay, so those issues, that was enough for police to really focus the homicide investigation and get warrants for cell data, thinking maybe she was in touch with the killer.
Absolutely. They had to explore if there was any digital trail connecting her to whoever did this.
All right, let's unpack the main people they looked at, starting with the obvious one, her husband, Brandon Bevers. Given the money issues, the marriage difficulties, he's naturally first on the list.
He was, but he was cleared pretty quickly, actually. Brandon was away on a fishing trip in Mississippi with his brother when the murder occurred.
Okay, solid alibi then.
A very solid alibi. It held up. And when they checked all that digital communication, the cell data, nothing. No evidence connecting him to the killer or to any creepy messages Missy might have received.
Okay, so husband cleared. That takes us to maybe the strangest part of this whole thing. The father-in-law, Randy Bevers.
Ah, yes. The connection there was purely visual initially. It came back to that distinctive gait seen on the church surveillance.
The walk again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Police reviewed footage of Randy Bevers walking into the police station later on, and they noted his walk seemed, well, remarkably similar to the description of the suspect's gait.
That feels thin on its own, just a similar walk.
It would be definitely thin, but then there was this other really unusual incident that made him a key person of interest.
Right, the dry cleaners. What happened there?
Okay, so just 4 days after Missy's murder, Randy drops off some shirts at a local dry cleaner. 4 shirts.
In one of them.
One was a woman's double XL white long-sleeve shirt covered in what looks like blood.
Whoa. Okay, what was his explanation?
He said the blood was from a family Chihuahua that had gotten into a fight with another dog.
A Chihuahua?
Yeah.
Causing that much blood on a double XL shirt.
Seems unlikely, I know. Police seized the shirt, obviously. But here's the crucial roadblock, legally speaking.
What's that?
The DNA analysis on the blood. While a vet did confirm treating a dog for injuries around that time, partially backing up his story, the lab couldn't definitively confirm the blood on the shirt was human.
Couldn't confirm it was human, so it could have been animal blood.
It could have been. Or the sample was degraded or contaminated. Whatever the reason, if they can't say it's human blood, that piece of evidence, however suspicious it looks, basically loses its power in court.
Wow. So that combined with his alibi.
Exactly. His alibi was also confirmed. He was traveling in California at the time of the murder. Like his son, impossible for him to be the person in the church. Alibi holds up, circumstantial evidence crumbles without the DNA link.
So 2 key family members cleared. Despite the weird walk and the bloody shirt, where did investigators go next?
Well, they really leaned into that physical description from the video. They got a flood of tips. You know how these things go.
Sure.
They spent months chasing leads based on height, build, and especially that distinctive walk or limp. One person they looked at seriously was a man named Bobby Henry.
YM.
He apparently walked with a noticeable limp, fit the general height and gait description, and crucially, might have had access to equipment similar to that fake SWAT gear.
Okay, sounds promising. Did they pursue that?
Oh yeah, they were serious. Detained him, search warrants, the whole deal. But ultimately, Henry passed a polygraph test. His alibi also checked out.
Another dead end.
Another dead end. Police cleared him. They even investigated one of Missy's class attendees, a woman named April Sandoval.
What was the connection there?
She had a stockier build, apparently had a broken foot around that time, which could affect her gait, maybe fit the height range, plus some history of military training, though she dropped out. And there were rumors she rented a similar car.
Lots of little circumstantial bits.
Exactly. Bits and pieces. But after digging into it, checking the car rental claims, everything, police found zero solid evidence linking her to the crime either.
So everyone close to her, everyone who sort of matched bits of the description, all ruled out.
Pretty much. Every physical lead based on people Missy knew seemed to go cold.
So if the physical suspects didn't pan out, they had to pivot back hard to Missy's private life, right? The digital side.
Exactly. What was happening behind the scenes. And this is where the case gets even deeper, but also, frustratingly, provides fewer concrete answers.
What did they find?
Well, they confirmed finding messages on Missy's phone described as flirtatious and even intimate.
Okay. With who?
The sources say Missy had been exchanging these messages with a man she'd met on LinkedIn about 3 months before she died.
LinkedIn.
Huh.
Okay. Did her husband know?
Apparently, yes. Brandon, her husband, told police he was aware of this alleged affair. He confirmed it to them.
But here's the big question then. Who was this guy from LinkedIn? Did the police identify him?
That's the critical unanswered part. Police have never publicly released the identity of this man. We don't know who he is.
Why wouldn't they release it? Was he cleared? Was he even real?
We just don't know, and it gets more complicated because there might have been another online interaction causing concern.
What do you mean?
The sources reveal something else. Just days before her murder, Missy apparently showed a friend a message she'd received, also on LinkedIn. She described it as creepy.
A creepy message. Separate from the flirtatious one.
It seems that way. And the sender of that specific, potentially threatening message, also unknown, never identified publicly.
Okay, wait, so you have potentially 2 different men communicating with her via LinkedIn shortly before her death. One she's having an intimate exchange with that her husband knows about.
Right.
And another, possibly separate person, sending her messages she found creepy.
That seems to be the picture painted by the investigation, yes.
So, were they the same person? Did the relationship turn sour, become obsessive violent? Or was the affair a red herring and the creepy message sender the real threat?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it makes you wonder about the police strategy. If they do know who the man from the flirtatious messages is, why keep his identity secret?
Maybe they cleared him.
Maybe. Or maybe they were trying to protect that part of the investigation, perhaps hoping the actual killer, maybe the creepy message sender, would think police were focused elsewhere on the family or the known affair and make a mistake. It's hard to say.
The whole thing is just such a paradox. You have this incredibly detailed surveillance of the killer's movements, their gear, that distinctive walk, clear evidence she was targeted, hints of digital secrets and motive. And yet the actual person who walks so confidently through that church in that fake gear just vanished. Poof.
It's deeply frustrating. New detectives were put on the case back in 2018. The $50,000 reward is still out there, but we're stuck with these same loose ends. The unknown online contacts, that distinctive gait shared by someone with a solid alibi, the questionable bloody shirt.
Right.
It really boils down to two main possibilities now, doesn't it? Either it was some unknown hired killer brought in from outside, or it was someone she knew well, someone intimately familiar with her life, her routine, maybe someone who was stalking her online and managed to perfectly conceal their identity during the act.
We know the outfit, we know the walk, the location, we know she had these dangerous digital secrets. But that final piece, who was the targeter? It's still missing.
Completely missing.
It really makes you wonder, and maybe you, the listener, have thought about this too, is there some piece of evidence maybe viewed in a new light? Like, could reanalyzing that video, focusing on the gait and the estimated height and weight, and somehow connecting that to the profile of the unknown LinkedIn man, could that finally be the key?
It's possible. That kind of fresh analysis connecting disparate pieces is often what breaks these cold cases.
It's the analytical challenge that remains. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.